Hello friends, I'm Raja Faisal and today I will be doing an Operation BJP Politics. I will be highlighting how BJP's politics works around different issues of their society. My entire focus would be on upcoming elections of Bihar, in which, of course, many of the leaders are going in and they are making speeches out there, and majority of the speeches, of course, they are all anti-Pakistan and anti-Islam. Here, important is to note that BJP, that has always been considered as a political wing of RSS, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, because they believe that as long as they are driven by Hindutva ideology, it will be a good political future for BJP. So first of all, they are using the religious element, hatred element, that is driven towards Muslims of India. Of course, they are cashing on the votes and votes in a huge numbers. So the whole political campaign is driving around three pivotal issues. Number one, Pakistan. We all know that anti-Pakistan vote within India is at a huge number, and BJP is known for making speeches against Pakistan that actually garners them the votes. And many analysts believe that the recent Operation Sindoor that was conducted against Pakistan, and both of the nuclear states were at a verge of war, that was entirely related to the upcoming election of Bihar. The second most important issue is Islam. And today's India, as we know, that there is a hatred against Islam, so they do not believe in garnering the Muslim votes. As long as hate is being spewed against the Muslims, it garners them the votes. And who would do it better than BJP itself? And the third one is a very unique one, and that is the women vote. How they are trying to garner that vote? Well, first of all, Operation Sindoor, it carries the whole weight for the women votes. Reason being, in recent elections, surveys have been conducted that in almost all of the constituencies, the women voters turned up more than the men. In few constituencies, it ranges from 7 to 10% of the women vote was more than the male votes. So now you can understand who was behind naming the operation as Operation Sindoor, because this has a significance in terms of female voters, women voters, as well as a stigma against Islam as well, because we know that in history, of course, all of the attacks that used to be carried out in India, they used to come from this side of the South Asia, when it comes to Afghanistan, when it comes to these areas of Pakistan. At that time, I'm talking about 5 to 6 centuries ago, or even more than that, because Turks used to be, of course, a rule in India as well in past. And all of the Mughals, whoever used to get into India, they used to go from this side. So Operation Sindoor, number one, women voter, then anti-Pakistan voter, and this very important one is anti-Islam, because all of them warriors who used to conquer India in past, they were Muslims. And there are many concocted stories by the Indians themselves, and there are few Bollywood movies as well in which it was a stigma labeled on Muslims, how they used to have a strategy of rape to, of course, rule over India, which is an utter nonsense, and it's a fake narrative which has been generated by BJP and the Hindutva ideology. That's how they garner the votes. Friends, now one by one, I'll take you towards the speeches made by many of the leaders of BJP, and I'll show you how they are having all of these narratives going on within their speeches, and of course, they are trying to garner more votes. Let's watch what Amit Shah, who happens to be the Home Minister of India, has to say in his speech.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जब से शपथ ली तब से 3 बड़े हमले हुए। पहला हमला उरी में हुआ, दूसरा हमला पुलवामा में हुआ और तीसरा हमला अभी अभी पहलगांव में करने का दुस्साहस पाकिस्तान प्रेरित आतंकवादियों ने किया।
As you have been listening to Amit Shah, the Home Minister of India, I have always believed that this man's politics always revolves around warmongering against Pakistan. And as you have seen that he has been mentioning Uri attack, then Pulwama attack, and then of course this Pahalgam attack. All of these attacks, they have always used this mantra against Pakistan, that Pakistan is somehow involved in the terrorist activities in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. And whenever they make political speeches, this is what they come up with. And they keep on saying that there was no one before Modi who had ever dared to, of course, attack Pakistan. But when it comes to Modi ji, he is the one who will be, of course, always giving a befitting reply to Pakistan. That's why all of you need to vote for us. And this is the warmongering stance of this man, Amit Shah, that is actually reflecting that everything is about anti-Pakistan narratives. Now I'll take you towards the Raksha Mantri or Defense Minister Rajnath Singh ji. Let's see what he has to say in the speeches.
कि पाकिस्तान की वह आदत है कि जल्दी वह मानता नहीं है। उसने भारत की जमीन पर हमले करने के प्रयास करने प्रारंभ किए। आम नागरिकों को भी वह निशाना बनाने का प्रयास किया है। मंदिर, गुरुद्वारों और गिरजाघरों पर को निशाना बनाया गया। उसके जवाब में भारतीय सेनाओं ने जो कार्रवाई की है, उसने पाकिस्तान की फौज को घुटनों पर लाकर खड़ा कर दिया।
There you go. Rajnath Singh is highlighting another aspect about Pakistan, that Pakistan has been of course attacking all of these temples or gurdwaras of the Sikhs and mandirs of the Hindus. Why? Because he is once again touching the religious sentiments to garner the votes. He wants all of the people who are standing in front of him, listening to him, to have hatred towards Pakistan and to have hatred towards Islam. That's how he's garnering the votes. In a way, he was trying to mention Pakistan here, that while Pakistan was retaliating against the Indian aggression, and we all know that India challenged Pakistan's territorial integrity, and Pakistan gave a befitting reply by bombing all of the military installments of India. But Indian Defense Minister maintains that it wasn't the military installments, rather they were bombing the temples, mandirs and gurdwaras. So they are trying to ignite a religious sentiment against Pakistan. Now there is another very known actor, political actor of India, especially BJP, Yogi Adityanath, who happens to be Chief Minister of UP, Uttar Pradesh. What he has to say, go and check.
जिन लोगों ने भारत की बहन और बेटियों के सिंदूर को छीनने का दुस्साहस किया था, कल की स्ट्राइक में उन्हें अपना खानदान खोना पड़ा है और दुश्मन के काराना हरकतों का जवाब ये नया भारत इसी मजबूती के साथ देगा।
Well, there you go. He is highlighting the sindoor of Behan Beti, sisters and daughters. He is trying to garner the female votes, the women votes. He is garnering the women votes for BJP. I mean, a person like Yogi, he's touching the sentiments of the female voters because he knows that in all of the constituencies, female voters, they were turning up more than the male voters in India. And this survey is of course being handed over to BJP, and BJP is planning their political strategy and their election strategy all around this sindoor and all around this women voter. Now, after the tier 2 leadership of BJP, I would want you to listen to Modi himself, who happens to be Prime Minister of India, what he has to say.
साथियों, पाकिस्तान के साथ न ट्रेड होगा न टॉक। अगर बात होगी तो सिर्फ पाकिस्तान के कब्जे वाले कश्मीर की, पीओके की। और अगर पाकिस्तान ने आतंकियों को एक्सपोर्ट करना जारी रखा तो उसको पाई पाई के लिए मोहताज होना होगा।
There you go. Here's Modi for you, playing on the lines of anti-Pakistan narratives once more. No trade, no talks with Pakistan. This is what he's telling his people, that I'm not going to have any talks with Pakistan. I'm not going to have any trade with Pakistan. He is ensuring them that I'm the man you should be voting for, because he has been ruling over India since more than 10 years, and in them last 10 years, day by day, the hatred against Pakistan has increased in today's India, and he is playing on the same lines once more, and he says that there will be no talks on Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. If somebody wants to talk to us, of course, they have to only talk about POK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Somehow they believe that the Azad Jammu and Kashmir is somehow occupied by Pakistan, which is utter nonsense, which is utter fake news, and the whole world knows about it, that this is not like this. If we talk about occupation, of course, Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir is the one that is occupied by India illegally. And we all know that the number of troops that are stationed in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, it is 900,000, and that makes Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir to be one of the most militarized zone in the world. And it is a truth which is known by the whole world, because all of the international media, it is never allowed to get into Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. So they need to fix their own narrative. Rather, they are going to different sermons and making speeches against Pakistan because it's an easy way to garner the votes. Now, you all might have heard about Col Sofia Qureshi. I mean, I personally respect her because she was fighting for her own country. I have respect for her because she was spokesperson of Indian military while Operation Sindoor. But one wonders, why Sofia Qureshi? Why not somebody else? Because they were playing on every front. Number one, she happens to be a Muslim, and they wanted to show it to the world that we are giving the center stage to a Muslim female officer, playing on women card, playing on minority card, and at the same time, of course, using her against Pakistan to maintain that we are not anti-Muslim, we are not anti-Islamic country. If this was the case, then a Muslim officer wouldn't have been doing this. They just wanted to show a diplomatic face of Indian military, which is utter nonsense. Why I say this? Because the next video which I am going to show you will be pivotal to, of course, think about how BJP thinks about the Muslims within India today.
और जिन्होंने हमारी बेटियों के सिंदूर उजाड़े थे वही कटे पिटे लोगों को हमने उन्हीं की बहन बेच करके उनकी ऐसी तेजी करवाई पर मोदी जी की डोला पानी उन्होंने कपड़ा उतार उतार के हमारे हिंदुओं को मारा और मोदी जी ने उनकी बहन को उनकी ऐसी की तेजी करना हमारे जाप से उनके घर
Now, Vijay Shah, who happens to be one of the BJP leaders, in the public gathering, he is highlighting this aspect that those who had destroyed the sindoor of our women, the Hindu women, today we have sent their own sister to fight against them. Who's the own sister? Who's the sister of Pakistan? I mean, I have no issues to call her a sister. Col Sofia Qureshi is just like a sister to me. And why he's mentioning it? Because she's a Muslim. And in the public gatherings, he is utilizing this sentiment against Pakistan once more and against Islam once more. That those who used to, as I told you earlier, that there are fake narratives which are persisting in today's Hindutva ideology, that somehow Muslims, they had rape as a weapon. They have been using rape as a weapon against the Hindus. This is utter nonsense. And today they are using this mantra for that sentiment to ignite within the society of today's India to garner more votes. Now friends, you have to take this notion very seriously when Vijay Shah says that we sent their own sister to talk against them. Why he's saying it? Because in today's India, the BJP's policies and the Hindutva ideology does not consider Muslim Indians as the first-class citizens of today's India. They still believe that all of these Muslims who are still in India have no right to stay in India, because when Pakistan was created, all of these Muslims of India, they were supposed to go to Pakistan. Rather, they stayed in India. Now we all know since the day one, India always portrayed as if it's a kind of secular state. Whereas I always believed that secularism of India was brutally murdered the day Gandhiji was murdered by Nathuram Godse, who happened to be a lifelong member of RSS, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. But as Vijay Shah has very smartly said, that we sent their own sister to talk against them. Why it is being said? Because it is the policy of BJP, because it is the notion of BJP against the Indian Muslims. Why I say this? Because if you go and listen to this interview, which was conducted by a foreign news channel, and in which one of the ministers, the former ministers of BJP, he was speaking against Muslims. Whatever he said, I want you to listen to this.
I mean, there's 200 million Muslims living in India. That's the second largest Muslim population in the world. And you're saying that wherever Muslims live, there's...
If Muslims become more than 30%, that country is in danger.
That sounds like hatred. That sounds like language of hatred.
It's easy to say hatred. I'm being kind to them by not letting them come to India.
Article 14 of the Indian Constitution guarantees the right to equality, as you know, for all persons living in India.
I can tell you that's a misinterpretation of Article 14. Article 14 guarantees equality of equals. I'll give you an example.
Are all people not equal?
All people are not equal.
Muslims do not deserve equal rights to apply for
There's no such thing as equal rights. They're not in an equal category.
Well, there you go. Swami Subramaniam, he clearly points out that there is no space for Muslims in today's India. And when we talk about constitution of today's India, even that can never ensure the equal rights for the Muslims as equal citizens. And guess what? Swami Subramaniam's daughter, she is married to a Muslim. Maybe he has a personal hatred and grudge towards the Muslims. And I have always mentioned that this hatred towards Islam, this hatred towards Pakistan, and the whole hatred mantra which erupts from within BJP against Islam and Pakistan has everything to do with the inferiority complex that is persisting in today's India. And that complex is just because of one reason. For over 1,000 years, Muslims have ruled over subcontinent. And it would be astonishing for you to listen to this, that during this rule of Muslims over subcontinent, in the early days, there was one of the family that ruled over subcontinent was considered as a slave family of the Turks. They were literally called Khandane Ghulama, the family of the slaves, because they were slaves of the Turks who have been ruling over today's India. So that's why they are having that inbuilt hatred towards Islam and hatred towards Pakistan. So I want you to always, whenever you are listening to these kind of statements, keep in your mind, this has an element of persisting hatred towards Islam and Pakistan. Friends, that's it for today. I hope you liked this video. If you did like this video, leave the comments below. I would like you to subscribe this channel for more videos in the future. Take very good care of yourself.